I'm Andrew Dart. I'm the navigator with VIDA Living, and here with me today is Tyson Plett from one of our Winnipeg properties. So, look, I was really excited when I was chatting with our Winnipeg team about your story, and it felt to me like I had to jump on here and talk to you on Zoom because there was a few really exciting points and how you aligned with what we're trying to achieve at VIDA. So I guess, first of all, could you walk us through your experience with VIDA since we took over the property and, how that transition went?
Yeah, so I originally signed when this was under another leasing company back in the day, probably about a year ago. But yeah, all of a sudden, one day we see this note, this company, VIDA Living, is taking over. And we're like, oh, who's VIDA? What is VIDA about? And we see Halifax. And we're like, okay, Halifax, that's a pretty far away coming all the way out here to Winnipeg.
For sure.
And, but it was fairly straightforward. I started to reach out to VIDA and say, hey, Victoria, hey, Sandra, you're doing this transition. How's this going to work? And everything started to move over. I know that there were some growing pains in the past, which of course does happen when, you're transitioning, you're entering a new market, as a business owner. I totally know that. I feel that. But right away we were welcomed with open arms. We were welcomed in, and, there was some things happening even in our older unit with just some friends of mine and my partner and I, we just needed to start a new chapter. And it just so happened that the unit right across the hall from us had opened up. And so we ended up signing as one of the first VIDA tenants in this building. And it was just such a seamless process with being connected to Haley and then through our building ambassador, just lining everything up. It was like the stars aligned just perfectly. And everything was arranged. And then our move-in eventually happened. And it was honestly the easiest move. Can you imagine, y'all, moving across the hall?
No moving truck required.
Exactly. Like no U-Haul, required. It was just the easy right across. And it's the same building too. So it's something you're used to. And that was also something that my partner and I really wanted, is we wanted easy, we wanted simple. And we also wanted a property management company that felt like they cared. And right from the get-go, when I even looked up VIDA's mission and logged online and I saw creating community, I was like, what is creating community? And I thought, how unique, how broad, but also how unique, because there is so many ways to create community. And, my business is about supplying a solution. It's a solution. And that's also broad too, like what kind of solution? But then once you start to unpack it, just like I started to unpack VIDA, I was like, wow, there's something here. And there was something special right off the bat with you guys. And everything in the end, as you can see, everything worked out. And it was literally within a month of contacting to a month later, we were in.
Brilliant.
And the rest
Awesome.
is history.
Really glad to hear that. And the way you described it is great to hear. And like you said, there always are growing pains with a transition. But I think what was evident to us is that people who lived in the buildings in Winnipeg, they wanted to get behind this. So that to me was encouraging. We thought, you know what, not only are we preaching this, but other people are, buying in and wanting to be aligned with the same vision. So I guess I would just ask you, is there anything about VIDA that's just kind of stuck out to you that's different and unique and something that you might not have seen with a previous property manager?
One thing that was very different is there's a lot more responsibility, I think, on the tenants, but that's not bad, because that's how you again are keeping your costs low, is by the tenants doing a lot of the upkeep actually in the building. I'm sure there are things that we of course have to contact our maintenance people to do, but it's also the maintenance people too that are educating the tenants on how to do it. We have this amazing maintenance person. His name is Dave. Absolutely excellent with VIDA. Love him to bits. And just the way he, goes through things, and he's even teaching me as he's doing something or talking his way through. I actually take time out of my work day sometimes just to go see Dave, whatever he's fixing around here. And it's also that fact because, we have the lights in our fire escape. They've been out for a little bit, but it was all of a sudden, Haley was like, well, did you do a maintenance request for it? I'm like, oh, I should do a maintenance. And it's just how there's more responsibility put on the tenants. And again, that's not bad. That's actually, it's great to know, because it's about treating it like it's your home. It's not just it, this building is a community, a town in itself. The fact that each buildings are kind of its own town, its own place. And we're residents in our own town, in our own place. And I mean, that's something new to Winnipeg. That's something that no property management company, I've never heard of a property management company doing that concept, nor has Winnipeg. So it will take time definitely to catch on in Winnipeg, I'm sure. But as you educate, as Haley told me that, as I've heard from other people, and you educate more people in that, it makes sense. And it's actually kind of cool how we get to take ownership, take ownership of our building, take ownership of our place, even though we're not homeowners ourselves, but we're still tenants. We still sign those leasing papers. But I find that really, really unique and really cool. And definitely something, though, that people are going to have to catch on to, but something that the community together as a whole, as the buildings, can come together and live that mission, and together, do cleanup days or do something. I mean,
yeah,
I'm even like, maybe I should rally the people around. We have some pigeons that love to fly around the building, and I'm thinking maybe we should rally some people to clean up some of the pigeon day. But yeah, I think that would be a cool way to create a community. Everybody cleaning up the pigeon stuff together. But
music to our ears. No, but Tyson, I love your energy. I love how passionate you are about this, and that's the same passion that we have for maintaining affordable rents, giving a safe, clean accommodation for folks to live at. And I just feel like it's so cool to meet folks like yourself, hear about your journey with VIDA, and look, we're so grateful for you, and we look forward to continuing to working with you to create community.
Honestly, so thankful for everything VIDA is, and for the way that y'all are coming into Winnipeg. Winnipeg has needed a change. Winnipeg has needed to see something different in property management companies. People in Winnipeg, sure, they're a little hesitant when their property manager knocks on the door and says, "Hi, how are you? How can we help you?" We all kind of go, "Uh-oh," like, what's the catch? Yeah. That's first off what we think. But with VIDA, it has not been that. It's been, how can we help you and what can we do better? How can we improve? It's been listening. It's been hearing. And I mean, again, sure, there's been growing pains, but that happens. And it's about listening and understanding, and the way that you listen and understand everyone, there's just something so incredible about that. And something so rewarding as a tenant when I feel heard and I feel listened to. And again, as a client, as a consumer, when we hear that it's not just about that bottom line, it's not just greedy whatever. People these days, they're so turned off by big corporate because they think big corporate's out to get them.
For sure.
But when some company comes in and works to change that face of big corporate and bring the human side of business,
totally,
the human, honest side, we can change the face of the world. We can change the face of the corporate world. Together with VIDA and Total Supply, we can change that face, and it change people's perceptions on businesses, because there is a human side. We're all human, and we're all in this society. We're all in this together. We're all going through something in these economic times, but it's when we come together as one and listen and hear each other out, beautiful big things can happen together. And that's why together I just love VIDA. And I know that I'm going to be taken care of as a VIDA tenant. And I know that people are there. And,
absolutely.
It's not your average. You guys should change your slogan: creating community, not your average property manager. I don't know.
Love it. Let's get it on there today. I'm calling the website. We're changing it. But no, it's really, it's refreshing to hear. And I just think, like you said, we're in this together. So it's a two-way street. It's not us versus you. And I think that's not just the human approach, but that's the right approach. And I think that's where, ultimately we'll be able to achieve big things. And look, want to thank you again for your time today. And it was great to meet you.
Andrew, it has been great to meet you as well. Thank you so much. And honestly, excited to meet more of the VIDA team, and come on out to Winnipeg when you guys have a chance. And any of y'all watching, come to Winnipeg, check out the VIDA community here. And yeah, choose VIDA, because VIDA, you are not going to be sad one bit. You're not going to be disappointed. VIDA is there for you, just like they were there for me and my partner as well. So thank you guys so much.
Thank you, Tyson. I appreciate it.
Thank